That's hot. Oh, yeah.
Fitzy and
Sweet as.
Whipper.
Welcome to the podcast. Big podcast episode for you. Wherever you're listening around the world, we have Says a huge following in Belgium.
Do we just?
Yeah.
What's Belgium most famous for? Other than chocolate.
They're not even famous for chocolate.
Belgian chocolate.
That's Switzerland.
Why would they call it that then?
They don't.
They do. They
No
call it
one
Belgian
says,
chocolate.
gee, I really feel like some Belgian chocolate.
Sorry, right near my house
You like Belgian chocolate?
there's a Belgian chocolate store right near my home.
Macca, have you ever eaten Belgian chocolate?
I don't believe so. I'm so sorry, Sam.
Sarah, that is so incorrect.
I am Googling. Hold on.
It's like,
Talk amongst yourselves.
Belgium chocolate. If you look at all the great brands around the world, Lindt, Toblerone. The Toblerone has a mountain on it, which is...
Godiva. Is it Godiva?
Godiva?
Godiva.
Oh,
Thank you.
Gillian?
Tom,
All Belgian
huge
chocolate.
debate raging in this podcast.
Yeah.
Haven't even got to the content yet.
Yeah.
Sarah thinks Belgium is famous for chocolate.
What is the famous chocolate in Belgium?
No.
Godiva.
Chocolate and waffles.
Cadavers.
Oh, that's the thing we couldn't think of.
And they speak Flemish,
Well, some parts.
some parts of Belgium. Sarah, the Swiss knives...
No
You
one
mean
commented.
Gillian?
Watches.
Were you saying Gillian chocolates?
Yeah,
No.
is from Belgium.
You
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
cadaver.
No, and Godiva chocolate is also from Belgium.
Godiva.
Godiva.
Enjoy the podcast. I hate being wrong. Enjoy the podcast.
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
But you got some sexy music there, Macca, because a clinical psychologist has come out and said that the sexiest words that you will ever hear to come out of anybody's mouth are the words, "We shouldn't be doing this."
Wow.
God, people are so turned on by risk, aren't they?
Yeah, I say-
and naughtiness.
I say that every morning at about 6 a.m.
Psychologist says
Different.
if you look into the psychology of why people cheat, often the taboo part is part of the appeal.
Yeah.
We're attracted to people and relationships that seem naughty. Who's the wrongest person you can have sex with? Your partner, sister, or her best friends?
Oh, mate. We shouldn't be doing this.
This is why she says it's the idea of people cheating with people who are within arm's reach as well. You know them well. This is why she said politicians have affairs with their secretaries.
See, this is just ridiculous, though. Why would you, what's the expression, do it in your own nest?
Yeah,
Like-
I think it's a power move too, Says, especially when you look at politicians. They've never been the most attractive bunch of people. And when they get in the room because they didn't get any growing up, it's just like...
But then, like, you think of Hollywood where they all hook up with their babysitters and things
Yeah.
and their nannies, and you go, why would you make your life so complicated? If you're going to cheat, make it so far
Says,
removed you don't get
We
caught.
shouldn't be doing this.
Talking?
No,
Sitting
I'm
near each
not
other?
using that line again because looking at each other.
Do you know, the other thing is, well, I could never understand. I understand that people can get excited by stuff like that, but
Lust.
how lust can overthrow a friendship or a sibling's love
Siblings. How could you do it to a family member?
How could you do it with a family member?
just because just because of lust, mate. And you know what? It'll probably last 5 minutes. It's all done, and then you lay there going, "What the hell did I just do?"
Yeah.
Well, it's
I've got to get out of this. I've got to get back on the bus and go home.
really interesting over the weekend in the AFL, and it was one of the biggest stories of all time, was Wayne Carey, arguably the greatest player of all time. He had to leave the North Melbourne Football Club because he got caught sleeping with his best mate on the team's wife.
At a barbecue.
Yeah, and
in
they
the
had
toilet.
they had a reunion over the weekend, and there was a discussion when Wayne Carey said to Anthony Stevens, "Mate, I don't like. Apparently, you've been talking behind my back."
You're
Yeah,
kidding.
don't worry about talk, mate.
Is he still with the woman?
No.
Oh,
No.
That's not worth it. You just lost one of your best mates.
You're right, though, Fitz, when it's within the family. I mean, if Brian Ivy, your dad, Tom,
Yeah.
had a crack at Inge, your wife,
Yeah, that would be weird.
it'd be weird. It's a boozy Christmas lunch, and all of a sudden Brian's knocking on the door and Inge's there, and
Because
and it's all on.
We have trust in our friends. This is the thing. We trust our friends. You never doubt that trust or your sibling love.
Yeah.
That they're always there. So for them to break it, that's the most heartbreaking
And
thing.
for you not to be able to pull the ripcord and go, oh, that's not the right thing to do. Don't do that. Some people just can't.
Yeah,
Some
the
people can't help
self-control.
themselves.
Do you know what I also just realised? Just a quick one.
No, go for it, mate.
This song here, Jessie's Girl. I always thought Jessie was the girl, and now that I think about it, I go,
That
well,
makes no sense.
It doesn't make
Jessie,
sense.
I thought Jessie was a girl's name.
Yeah.
But this was Rick Springfield.
Yeah.
Right? This was his best mate. And in the song, the lyrics are, Jesse is a friend. Yeah, I know he's a good friend of mine, but lately something's changed. It's hard to define. Jesse's got himself a girl, and I want to make her mine.
Where did your confusion come from?
Absolute dog.
So he's just trying to hook up with his mate's wife.
Then he says, I'll play along with the charade that doesn't seem to be a reason to change. You know I feel so dirty when they start talking cute. I want to tell her that I love her, but the point is probably moot. Probably could have used another word.
Wrap up of the week. You know it's tough to rhyme.
Wow, Jesse's girl.
Isn't that amazing?
Didn't know.
He's written a song about hooking up with his best mate's missus.
Hey, Lee, welcome to the show, buddy. What was the act of betrayal that you came across?
Yeah, my partner's mother had an affair with her other daughter's husband while she was pregnant.
Oh!
That is right up there.
Wow, that's a good one, Lee.
How did they get busted, Lee?
I'm not sure about those details, but it's all coming out in the wash now because she's nearing end of life and it's just getting messy.
Oh, so she's just revealed this now.
Oh, no, a lot of the family knew, but there was a lot that didn't.
And is she and the daughter still in contact or anything, or did that blow up?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
What a weapon of a...
That was 37 years ago. But,
Right.
yeah.
That is...
Yeah, your daughter's on the couch. She's uncomfortable because she's 6 months pregnant. What are you doing in the next 5 minutes?
I don't know if we could beat that. The ultimate act of betrayal.
That's extraordinary.
Isn't it?
That's it. All right, guys.
Well done, Lee.
Oh, you're hanging up on
oh,
us,
oh,
Lee.
oh,
that's
oh,
awesome.
Sorry to keep you up, Lee.
I love her. I love Lee.
But I wonder who came on to who. Did the mum hit on the guy? Or did the guy...
It really doesn't matter, does it?
It does, says.
I mean, you're looking at you're about to have a grandchild.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
daughter's pregnant. Yay, well, I'll blow this up.
Imagine looking at your mother-in-law thinking, ooh,
Thanks, Mrs. Jones. That tuna mornay was magnificent.
what's for dessert? Your undies?
Oh, you don't have to say it so
Absolute
much.
My mind had run. My mind had taken
Wow,
off.
you are a weak-gutted dog.
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Actually, this story reminds me of The Old Man. If you're watching it on Disney at the moment, Jeff Bridges, Old Man.
Good show. Get into it.
Still got it, but I love this story. A 79-year-old man is facing 4 counts of arson in Indiana after he torched 4 cars at 2 separate car dealerships. The man told the Fort Wayne Police Department that he started the fires as revenge against the dealership, which he said sold him a bad Jeep with a bad motor, and they refused to make it right in 1986.
Wow.
Oh, gosh.
He told the police it was time for the chickens to return to the roost.
Did he play this in court?
What's this?
It's the chicken song, Sarah.
Okay, yep.
Officially.
This has had 1 billion views on YouTube, which
Really?
freaks me out.
It's catchy.
But how's that he's waited since 1986 to get his revenge?
I mean, it depends what they did. I mean, sure, you said they sold him a dodgy car. But, I mean, if you walked into a pub and said, hey, guys, does this seem fair? We torched the place a bit. I reckon everyone would go, yeah, for sure. You don't sell a dodgy car.
You're not allowed to do that. He did admit that he's tried to get them back before, in between the 1986 and current day, by putting super glue into the car locks at some of the car dealerships.
Good gear.
So they couldn't get the keys in there. That's not a bad one either.
No, that's good. So that obviously didn't work. He obviously didn't get the payoff that he wanted from the super glue in the lock.
Wouldn't you just get to an age? You're 79 years of age. Wouldn't you just let it go?
Nothing better than being an old person who's getting away with crime.
We had a grumpy neighbour who was an older bloke, and if he was angry, he would use dead fish and do things like put it in the mailbox, or he left a dead fish in someone's car exhaust down the street. And that was his way.
What would that do?
Just stinks.
Yeah, right.
Just stinks.
I had dead fish buried into my backyard,
Did
into
you?
my garden, and
Did
I
you
didn't
sell
know
someone
where I didn't know where the smell was coming on for ages, and it
Yep.
was just some ex-teammates.
So it
getting back
doesn't
at
just
me.
break down
No,
and
it
decompose?
stinks.
Oh,
Stinks.
yeah.
Did you sell someone a dodgy car?
No, it's just teammates that I just was really upsetting in the change rooms. They just got back at me by offloading a few
By
rotten
dead fish. So that's not fair.
That is a great effort. I just got to say, if you're going to wait that long to get your revenge,
Well planned.
I think you got to let him off at some stage.
Well,
don't
you
you?
shouldn't have been busted if you had a good plan.
He had to pay $12,000 $12,800 just to fix it all up again.
All right, he's done all right, though.
Whether you've been craving the ocean, snow, mountains or city lights, there are so many possibilities for you and your next trip.
Make up for missed holidays and explore more of Oz with whatif.com.
Jump online or on the What If app.
What If? It's Aussie for travel.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
James has given us a call from Janelli. What did you want to talk about, Jim?
Hi, I just wanted to talk about my boyfriend's mum's birthday. That's
Okay.
next week. I just wanted to know what's in law that keeps you in the good books.
Say that again, James.
I just wanted to know what's in an in-law that keeps you in the good books.
Okay, what do you do to an in-law to keep you in the good books? How long have you been with your boyfriend for, James?
Almost 3 years.
3 years. So this is pretty special. Do you have a great relationship with her?
Yeah, I do. I actually live with her.
Oh, you live with her, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because my first thought was maybe there's a cake that you could make or bake, and that would be impressive. But she
Yeah.
would see that in the kitchen if you're preparing. Why not buy her a dog?
That would be cool. That'd be cool. But we can't really have pets.
Okay.
Can't have
So
pets.
true. All right.
Would you like to borrow the Ed Sheeran members? We've got 2 of them and maybe put them at the front porch or something.
That's not
James?
bad. Would she like that?
I think she would. She really loves that.
Yeah, does she like Ed Sheeran? Well, that could be
She
a
loves Ed Sheeran.
suggestion. What do you like? You know,
What do you
just a
get?
box of roses. You know the roses chocolate.
Yum.
Yeah, the chocolates. Yeah.
Do they make roses anymore?
Yeah.
They still make them, don't they?
What about knit a jumper, James, or a scarf?
A lot of effort.
What about a flower press?
Do you know? Actually, James, you know what? Did anyone see the collaboration with Adidas and Gucci?
No, what do they do?
So they've come out with some, the Gazelle shoes, the classic Adidas shoes, but they've Gucci'd them.
Okay. With
And I thought they look awesome.
G's all over
I
them.
might go buy a pair for $1,170.
There it is. Get her some of those, James, and good luck.
Get upset when someone treads on your foot, don't you?
Can't we get Gucci shoes at Adidas prices?
The day you walk in a pair of Gucci's is the day we wrap things up. All right, thanks, James. Good luck with that one.
Wendy on the Central Coast. What did you want to talk about, Wendy?
Hi, I'm off for a girls' weekend and I'm looking for someone with a personality might be able to tell me what I can do in Perth this weekend.
Well, you've called the right show, Wendy. I know that much.
So Wendy, how many girls are going to Perth?
Just me, and I'm meeting up with my girlfriend and she's got a couple of girls and we're hitting the town, so...
How much fun.
You got to go to the Cotto. Go to the
Oh,
Cotto.
I've got to go to the Cot, mate. Got to go for a Sunday session at the Cot, Wendy. Don't mention my name. You going to go over to Rotto or anything like that, to Rottnest Island, or...?
Look, I don't know what's happening. I'm just arriving and then I've just got to go with the flow. So
Oh, how much
throw
fun.
throw some tips in.
You got time to get down to Margaret River?
It's too far.
Possibly, yeah.
It's a 4-hour drive.
3-hour drive.
I know.
Get down there.
Have car, will travel.
Yeah, great wine region. Nominate a driver and start moving around.
But you know what?
Absolutely.
Hang on a minute.
No,
She
it's
wants
a
to
long
speak to a
flight
personality.
over. It's a long flight over.
Okay.
What is it? 4 or 5 hours?
Yeah,
And then
depending.
you wanted to drive 3 hours in a car.
I'm
She wants
just-
to catch up with a friend.
I'm so
Someone
sorry.
else can drive me.
Wendy's called for suggestions, so I'm offering suggestions.
Yeah, give me suggestions.
Tommy, what about Kings Park? There's a restaurant there, which is an absolute beauty. That's like their
Heard
main
that,
park.
yeah.
Yeah, that's stunning. Or perhaps a few drinks at the Riverview, which is an old haunt of
Perfect.
Whitley.
You like that?
Whip did call himself the Prince of Perth at one point.
Self-anointed.
What's the brewery on the water, Tom?
Little
Little
creatures.
Creatures.
Little Creatures.
Down at Freo.
I mean, Mackie, you've done time in Perth. What would you recommend? What was your local?
There was the other one called the River Vale.
Oh, no, don't go there.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
yeah.
definitely don't go there.
That is.
Mackie got an education
Well, unless you're
there.
into bondage, Wendy.
That's
not
underground.
No. There you go.
Those suggestions sound perfect. Thank you.
How good would it be if Wendy's going for a girls' trip to Perth and then she takes out first class and 50k?
I know, what a win.
While
Awesome.
she's there, she could tell her friends. Heather in North Rocks. What did you want to chat about, Heather?
Hi, good morning.
Hi, love.
Yeah, so I was just going to tell you about my mother-in-law. She's really into the astrology stuff.
Yeah.
And so when my husband and I first said we were getting married, she requested my birth certificate.
Yeah.
So that way she could line up based on the date and time that I was born.
So what did she want to line up with herself?
She wanted to make sure we were compatible.
Oh, my God.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
What, are there some star signs that simply aren't compatible?
Her.
Yeah, right. And were you compatible, Heather? What was the results?
Well, I never heard anything about it, so I'm assuming we were compatible.
I know. There are a lot. Seems to be majority are women as well that
are into star signs.
Have you ever gone out with a girl who is instantly going, "Oh, you're Libran. I don't know if I can do this."
I'm a Leo.
It's a bit of a high school thing. No, I looked up a boyfriend and was like, he's a Gemini. This is probably not going to work.
Yeah.
And did it work?
It didn't work, but for other reasons.
Right. Nothing to do with his star sign.
No, well, I don't think he cared what his star sign
Oh,
was.
he didn't even know.
What was that exercise you did in high school where you wrote down each
The names.
other's name?
Oh, then you
Yep.
did the maths.
Yeah.
How many
Beach
L's?
names,
And
yeah.
then it would say, 86%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that was a real formula for love.
I would do that. I still do that with Lisa.
Do you?
Yep. Add it up.
Thank
work
God
out.
your maths is so bad. That's why the
I
numbers
could
so
never
high.
work it out, sis.
Yeah.
Are you still getting 16.6 out of 100?
Oh, rounded up to 17.
Last one, Maddie in Newport. What do you want to talk about, Maddie?
Good morning, Fitzy. Morning, Whopper. I just wanted to
What a pity.
say, get on the bandwagon and say happy 40th for Sarah.
Oh!
It's not my 40th. I'm not 40
yes.
for like 6 months.
Congratulations.
Happy 40th.
It's your 40th. Well, it's your 40th year anyhow on the earth, so you can probably claim that early, couldn't you? Like you're 40, aren't you?
Hey,
This
what-
is really cheeky, Matt Burke.
Maddie!
Maddie!
Hi, Berkey. We've missed you, but this is not the nicest re-entrance onto radio.
Yeah, I missed you last week. I was unfortunately missed the timing at the end there. I was going to jump on board because Sarah, it's a massive day. 40. Don't be afraid of 40, by the way.
Shouldn't be.
Berkey, any chance that you could do, is there any type of show that you could do just wearing a bow tie and nothing else on the day, Matt?
That was the days when there was no mobile phones.
Do you know, Berkey, I caught up with a mate the other day by the name of Nick O'Kane, and he said,
yeah.
I had a great charity event last night. It was terrific. We went out for dinner, and then I had a couple of people back to my place, and Matty Burke was there till about 3 a.m.
We couldn't get him out.
I think that was, I can't remember the following day. I think I feel like you, Whipper, today.
Yep. Well, that's pretty consistent, Matty. Good to have you on the show, mate, and celebrating Sarah's
Happy birthday,
40th.
Sarah.
Yeah, thanks, Maddie. Not too much.
Hey, Berkey, if you do win first class and 50K, where would you go first class and who would you take with you?
Oh, I'm in. Okay. Oh, well, not that I wink. You can pull my name out of the hat.
Sure.
Let's go. Let's go skiing somewhere. I reckon. I never went skiing through my time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's go skiing.
And with a couple of
Wanna go
Wallaby
take?
boys. All right, you're in the running. No, well done. You're in the running, Matty. Congratulations.
Thanks, Drew.
Stay-
Goodbye.
Love
Good
you.
morning.
Love you, mate. Good
See you,
morning.
Berkey.
Goodbye and good morning.
See you, mate.
You're on the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Yeah, Matty de Groot, horrible news about Paul Green. I know Jonathan Thurston couldn't even go on the coverage last night. He had to go home and fly back to Townsville. That was his premiership coach from 2015, and I think it surprised everybody.
It's because he's such a lovable, well-known, likeable guy. On Saturday night in Cronulla at Shark Park, they had Old Boys Day. So there were dozens of former players, and he was one of them.
Yeah.
I was there hosting it. We interviewed him on the walk around.
Amazing.
Dane Wheeler having the chat, and he was just saying how great it was to be back, how great it was to be in Cronulla, how much the club's meant to him. No sign at all. Now, obviously, that's not the place that he would say anything, but when you see someone with a big smile on their face so recently, it shows you just don't know what's going on.
He just celebrated his son's birthday.
Yeah.
A great reminder, though, of just how dangerous it is to see a man who's smiling and shaking hands and able to have normal conversations, but deep down is really, really struggling.
Do you know what, Peter Overton last night, this was unbelievable because Pete went off script. This was not on the auto cue.
And he was emotional.
He was emotional. This is what he had to say.
If you are struggling with your mental health, please talk to someone. Ask, are you okay? Take a friend for a coffee, a walk, confide in your GP, share your feelings with your family. Just talk to someone. You might be surprised how many people you know have the same struggles. You are not alone. One of the best places you can call is Lifeline. They are there to listen. They are there to help. Here's their phone number, 131114.
Wow. It's very powerful from Pete.
You don't.
Extremely powerful.
You can never underestimate can you? And this is the thing, and people they make judgments really quickly, but you just don't know what's going on with somebody's mental state.
No.
And his family, the Overton family, Jethro, his wife, has had a very public battle with postnatal depression, and their family have been very much on the front foot about talking about it. And one thing they say is, people say when you speak about mental health, you're so brave. Why? You shouldn't be brave to talk about it. It should be the thing that is just as simple as talking about, oh, you've broken your arm. You wouldn't be brave for saying, oh, you've broken your arm.
Thanks for talking about it.
Yeah. I had a mate on the phone.
The same thing.
I had a mate on the phone the other day who broke down and cried to me about something in his life, and he kept apologising to me the whole time. He said, I'm sorry, mate, I'm sorry. I said, no, don't apologise. And this is the thing, we grew up thinking that that was a sign of weakness, but now I think we need to... It needs to be more accepted.
100%.
You know, I had a mate ring me the other day, and halfway through the conversation he said, how's your mental health? And I went, oh, I just didn't expect the question because nobody really asks.
No.
Where it should be, as you're discussing MDG, it should be, how's the family?
Yeah.
You know, how's that going? How's work? How's your mental health? You know, it shouldn't be a jarring or awkward question to ask.
Well, one thing I do know is bottling it up. It just makes it worse. Talking to someone about it has been
100%.
the biggest saviour for me. So if you're troubled out there, if there's someone that you think you can't talk to, the number for Lifeline is 131114.
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Talk about exciting games. Esports is huge, as we know, and it's taken over Vegas. And even companies, they're spending so much money to invest in sponsorship of games, placement of brand in different computer games, but esports on a whole. I mean, even NRL, AFL teams have esports teams.
Yeah, but I don't know how they're going. How are they going?
I don't think it's rocketing. In the States, it's massive. But here, because I remember watching a piece of commentary from the AFL where they crossed, and it was a deal that must have been done, they crossed to the Essendon Football Club's esports team, which was there watching the actual game. And all of these nerds just sitting around, no idea what the game was about, but love the esports version of it.
It's either that or crypto.
Yeah.
I see there's a lot of crypto sponsorship now and advertising in sport. But I see the bikies now, they can't launder their money at the casinos anymore, so they're now going through crypto, mate, which is great news for the crypto industry.
Or driving it straight up. Thank you, bikies. This is an interesting one, though, because it's gone back to the basics, and this is now a world championship game, but there are people that compete on a global scale using the program Excel.
That's
just the Microsoft word Excel.
Excel, that's boring, isn't it? That's what
You're telling me.
That's what businesses use, don't they, for all their finance and numbers?
There's a guy who works here by the name of Keith, Killer Keith. Now, I only realised that this was a competitive industry or game when we found out Killer Keith came third in the national championship.
National or global?
I'm going to say national. Tom, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, national.
He came third.
Huge.
He's the third best in the country at using Excel.
So can I get it right? Do you have a blank Excel spreadsheet at the start and then you've got to fill it out by the end? Is that how you do it?
You can do really amazing stuff.
Talk us through, it says.
No, I just remember...
Excite me on a Friday.
No, this was like 15 years ago. I was trying to do statistics at uni. And I didn't realise you can enter all this stuff in and hit buttons and it adds it all up for you and runs all different maths numbers.
Oh, like MyOb.
Yes.
MyOb.
My dad uses MyOb. He's on the phone to them. Mind your own business. He's on the phone to them every day.
But look, it was
How do I do this?
more technical than what I thought it was.
MyOb. So, I mean, this is what's great about it is it's not just for those competing.
There's nothing great about it.
Yeah, right.
But the people that commentate are also wanting to drag the crowd in to watch their spreadsheets unfold as they continue to compete in Excel. Have a listen to this.
The user use those in his index and match.
That's right. Oh, he's using left. Now, how about flash fill?
What?
Right?
Oh my God! What are you doing? This is Oz Deslay, who hates all artificial intelligence.
No, for something like this, you can see it, right? You can see.
Right. That's right. You'll know whether or not it worked.
Right.
So you're hanging to see if the formula they've entered will actually work on the spreadsheet.
I'd rather watch you two do Wordle.
Here's some more of it.
It looks like he's just diving into level 1, probably trying to understand all of the various items. And you see that he has sheet 1 back there. We don't know what he built on sheet 1. that might be something that'll help him. Let's see if he switches back to sheet one.
Let's see if we can see that.
Maybe he built his table, taking the reels and repeating them multiple times. Wow. Yeah, so sheet one. He's done a lot of pre-work.
Yes.
This could allow him to solve the later items much faster, right? So a little bit of pre-work ahead of time.
Wow.
Wasted 6 minutes doing the pre-work with no points to show for it yet, but now the points might come.
The points are coming because he did the pre-work. See, that's what you understand.
What they're talking
Well,
about.
says obviously the preparation for the spreadsheet that he did was leading him up to a huge points run later on in the competition, and that is fascinating to watch.
Well, imagine the parties. Imagine the Excel parties after those. They'd be massive, wouldn't they? Jacuzzis, models.
I would assume they're all virgins.
Well, that is one area they don't excel in.
I only just realised. With Fitzy and Whipper.
Trying to wind this up at 100 miles an hour.
Get out on the virgin stuff, yeah?
Yeah, well done, Tom.
Tommy, I'm just associating them with not being all that exciting, Tom. And like you, they probably lose their virginity in their 30s.
Hey, can I only just realise this coming up? 13 24 10, get involved. Here's some calls that we had from last week.
Yeah, here they are, Mac.
Ray-Ban Sunny. It's called Ray-Bans because the whole purpose is that they are supposed to ban the rays of the light. The statue of David is David from the story David and Goliath.
I've only just realised that our tongue has its own unique print, kind of like a fingerprint.
All right, here's one that BJ's thrown out there for only just realised.
What do you got?
BJ says that every woman has a freckle on their left hand above their wrist.
Oh my God, you do.
Is that
Have
why
you
you
got
just
one?
grabbed my wrist? Yes, I do.
Jess, have you got one?
Yep.
Got some bad news.
You don't have one?
You don't have one?
Don't you? Come over here. Come over here.
That is unbelievable.
You've got lots of freckles.
Do you know what? She was showing her friends every girl that was there had a freckle on their left above. And I've done some digging on this one.
Yeah, what do you got?
The reason why is that we have freckles so much around the wrist area is because we don't put sunscreen all the way down.
Well, Tommy, can we have a quick... Oh, Tommy's got one too.
Wow, yeah, you got me again, guys.
It's
I'm a
true.
woman. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Wow.
Do you know what? Remember when the bomb dropped on this show, when we realised that women's shirts have buttons on the other side to
Yes.
men's shirts?
Yeah, no, that was the same.
Huh?
I said, yeah, that was the same.
No, but I had no idea. So when a woman buys a shirt,
Yeah, we button the
buttons are
opposite
on the
way
right
to
hand. And when the buttons are on the other side.
That's
You didn't know
amazing.
that either, did you, Han? No,
I didn't.
There you
Well,
go.
you wouldn't until you put on... I accidentally bought a men's shirt at Uniqlo. That's the only way I found out.
Wow,
And you
this
went,
is
why are the buttons over here?
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
I only just realised. With Fitzy and Whipper.
Let's go straight to Melissa in North Rocks. There's a bottle of Double Chin Gin up for grabs here, Mel. Better be good. What have you only just realised?
Well, it seems like the tongue is more smarter than the brain. Your tongue actually knows what something tastes like before you even taste it. For instance, if you look at a brick and you wonder, oh, what would that taste like?
Yes.
Before you even lick it, the tongue tells the brain what it would taste like.
Do you know what you do? I know what a brick would taste like.
So do I.
It's
I've never licked one, but
But is that not your brain,
That's your brain still
telling
telling
your
you.
mouth what to remember
I agree.
and how to place? Yeah, I would have
Is
thought your
it-
brain is dictating what your mouth...
No, but your tongue, it's probably remembering texture. Is that right, Melissa, as well? And it would know...
Yeah. So it just instantly informs the brain. I think texture could play a very big role, yeah.
Yes.
So before licking that can or your skin or a brick, should you want to,
Yeah.
your brain knows.
You ever licked a brick, Mel?
I can't
I said
think
brick.
that I have.
Oh, right.
Well done, Mel.
Thanks,
hey,
Mel.
That's a good start. Tatiana's given us a call from Monavar. What have you only just realised?
Well, you know how you have all those number plates on limousines and vans and things that say TV?
Yeah.
on them? Well, I really thought that they had a TV in them.
Oh, no.
Do you mean those sort of chauffeur-driven cars?
Yes.
Yes.
With the number plate?
What does the TV stand for? I've never seen one.
It stands, I think, for travel vehicle.
Travel or transport
Right.
vehicle.
But when you see them and they say HC,
Hire car.
that is hire car, isn't
That's
it?
what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's quite a popular number plate that you will see on sort of a chauffeur-driven
I
type
thought
car.
it was a hard. There was a real hard.
Oh,
No.
different kind of ride.
No.
So I'm not
That's why
overtaking that guy. He's a hard.
No wonder the windows are tinted.
Thank you, Tatiana. Let's go to Daniel in Eastern Creek. What do you got, Dan?
Hey, boys. I thought I'd bring in the big guns for Sarah's 40th.
Yep.
And it is that there are more chess moves in a game of chess than there are grains of sand on the earth.
What, in
Really?
in
Rubbish.
one game, Daniel, that you could do if it went all the way?
Yep.
Do you know what? I wouldn't know because I've never played chess, but
It's the best.
I would call BS on it. It's impossible to have more moves than grains of sand on the planet.
No, it's 100%. Someone check it out.
Have you ever seen have you looked at a desert before, Daniel?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Stretch, mate.
I know you're looking at the sand, and
Daniel.
your eyes, not your tongue, is telling you your brain. There's lots of.
I would know what sand would
grains of
taste
sand.
like. Yeah.
I like that we're relying on the bloke who's never played chess to defiantly argue against the guy who knows what he's talking about.
But there is a lot of sand in this world. Like, I think Egypt
the thing.
straight away. Just go
Straight
Egypt.
away.
Like, there could not be enough chess moves to
there's
cover
not.
that amount of
Lots
sand.
of sand here in Australia. You don't have to just go Egypt.
Yeah,
No,
go
but even
Egypt.
if you need that,
Absolute rubbish, Daniel.
That's Tommy,
Rubbish.
Can you verify that for us, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely.
Chris in Kingsgrove. What have you only just realised?
Hi guys, I've just realised that Philippines is with a P and Filipino is with an S.
Oh,
that is
Philippines with a P.
true. The country.
Mm-hmm.
And then Filipino is F.
What?
Jeez, that's interesting,
Who would
Chris.
do that? Who would butcher the English language more than Ryan Fitzgerald?
Extraordinary, Chris. When did you realise this, mate?
Just the other day we were having a conversation.
Yeah,
and
well done.
I'm not good with spelling, so
neither.
I was positive it was with a P, and no, I was wrong.
Well, do you know what's going to happen here, right? Chris,
I don't know what to do.
Chris is leading unless Tom can verify Daniel from Eastern Creek more chess moves in one game than there are grains of sand in the world.
It doesn't make sense.
So where Daniel was almost correct.
Oh, yep.
Instead of grains of sand in the world, it's actually grains of sand on the beaches around the world.
I still don't buy it, mate.
That's still pretty amazing.
I still don't buy it. Sarah, what are you going to do here?
Oh.
It's only one bottle of double chin gin to give away.
I know, and he said I was turning 40. What's the hand signal?
Give away 2.
I'll give away 2.
Go away. Go, Daniel.
All right, Daniel, you get 1, Chris gets 1.
There it is.
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Weddings. What are you going to do for entertainment? It always comes down to that question. What should we do? Do we have somebody come and sing? Should we have a performance? Is it just our wedding waltz? Will that be enough? Should I make a video with Daryl Braithwaite in it where I'm singing? That's not a bad idea.
Should have been just Daryl singing.
Should not have been Daryl.
You didn't need to be in there.
You missed the tribute. You don't understand. We changed the lyrics to Lisa, so it made sense that I sang with Daryl. Daryl wanted me to sing, man.
No, he didn't.
Sure he did
But
not.
you think I should have been left out of the video?
Daryl, during the video, I found it a bit weird as he gave you the invoice as you were singing the
Don't worry
song.
about that. I tried to get that edited out. $800. Thanks, Nova.
Can claim anything? Yeah.
Let's move on to this because there was no entertainment planned for this wedding, but the bride fancies herself as quite a singer, and the dad doesn't mind a sing-along either. So what's fascinating about this is it wasn't at the reception. This was actually at the wedding. So the footage is the bride starting to walk down the aisle. She just enters the church and she decides to break into song. The problem is she's not that good. Have a listen. Everyone hates it.
This will be tough.
Everyone's looking around. They don't know where to look.
She got sinus problems?
Big note
Suddenly
coming up. Big note.
American. Oscar.
Yuck, the groom's left. He's hooked into one of the bridesmaids.
Ultimate act of betrayal.
But she wasn't terrible.
Wasn't terrible, says. Very
No,
brave move to go
close.
for. She hit a couple of high notes, and that's where I think people confuse themselves.
Is this Dad?
Is it more on that Macca or
no,
not?
that was
Dad then joins in on the same song. It's not about you, Dad. Your job is to hold an arm and get her to the end of the aisle. Don't start singing.
Do you think there's a moment where the groom does go,
Yeah, I've married a wanker.
No, he would know for sure, and he would think this is a beautiful showing of love.
You don't have to use that
That
word.
is.
So aggressive.
I mean, there was another guy overnight who was arrested because he's such a bad singer. And it wasn't unfair. They did a current affairs style story on the poor lad.
Is this the grab that you wanted?
I was hoping. That must be some other. What about the other one, Macca? You got the other one?
Police in Bangladesh have been criticised for their heavy-handed tactics after arresting a man who's become famous for singing out of tune. Officers made a dawn raid at a house in Dhaka, and the singer says he was kept in custody for 8 hours. He insists he's been mentally tortured, as the BBC's Tim Wallman explains.
Let me introduce you to the unique musical stylings of Hero Alom.
I've heard worse.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
This is for his wedding.
No, he's been arrested. He's an internet sensation, and unfortunately, he's been arrested and held in custody because his singing is so offensive, and people don't want to hear it anymore. You're a public nuisance because your voice is so bad.
That's so unkind.
He's been arrested. As for that other grab we played, I'm not sure what that was, Macca, but he's been arrested as well. That might be a bit more. Maybe that's one of the second songs he sings. Poor guy. Locked up
Fair bit going on in that break.
Locked up for bad vocals.
Trying to decipher what was happening there.
It's been some sort of betrayal, I think.
I think I need a rest and a cigarette.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.